so we're going to quickly head into it as the lights are now out, and we are underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It seems like it's a very, very solid start for SLR1, and he's made sure he's kept the lead in turn one. He's taken the inside, and so we go through turn one, and he stays in the lead. Although all that was very tight there, and Crispy almost took himself out there, but it looks good, and Ham has got away cleanly, followed by Mitzi, followed by Crispy. There's no slackers, no people that spun out of the back, which is fantastic news as we go in. All that looked very tight there in turn four. There's been a little bit of kerfuffle, but I think it's not too bad. We're still side by side here for P5. I think it is between Elite and Griffiths. They are still side by side. They continue to be side by side, and Griffiths keeps the move into this turn here. As with him going a little bit wide, Elite means Evo, who's had a fantastic start. He's up 3 places already, and he'll be looking to go further. As up the inside goes Finn on Race Rollers. Finn is round. He's been tagged at the back into turn 10, and he has had a half spin there, and he's lost a load of positions. He's gone from P10, P9, even to P15. It's not ideal at all. Zydrad has a very good start. He's up to P10. He's in the points already, and you can see, look at the carnage here. There's so many cars that are all over the road. Finn's going off the road trying to overtake Simba around the outside. They're still side by side. They'll continue side by side. Nitro was on the track through that corner there, so fair play to them. But as we ride down the final section, there's still there's a bit side by side action here, I think, as it is Simba and Men's trying to catch Simba napping. And it looked like we've all got through the first lap relatively cleanly. Ham continues in the lead, followed by Midzi, followed by Snipes. All we've got one. Evo is trying it on Elite. Evo is trying to get himself into P6 here, and he has done so with a little bit of a forceful move, but it's a very solid move, and he's got himself up into P6s already. We've got a first penalty. Simba has got 3 warnings already for track limits, and he has got a 3-second time penalty as a very, very solid start indeed. We're a little bit close here. Corey is right on the rear end of Crispy here, and I'm sure he's thinking about something. We've had a spinner. We have had a spinner. It's Jaylee Menz, and that is not ideal at all. It looks like it's on one of the curbs, maybe just at the start of sector 2. But he's not a million miles behind, so he should be able to recover still back into the field come the end of the race. Looks like the top 5 have got a little bit of a gap, but it's still pretty much inside DRS. We are expecting a few DRS trains, not necessarily this circuit, but throughout the season, it's a very, very solid grid. So I'm expecting a few bottleneck trains throughout the season. You can see Griffiths is eager to make the move. That's the thing that's fair to say. Let's get that track data up, and let's get the position changes up so you can see who's been the best mover so far, which is Zydrad. He's come up 7 positions, and Elo is up 4 positions as well. And he's actually under the cosh here. It looks like Snipes is right up close to him there, as you can see. But I think he should be all right for now. But yeah, he's so close that he's actually dropped out within a second. And here comes Snipes, DRS advantage. And it looks like that's going to be a relatively simple move for Snipes. It is, and he takes P6 back. And so Zydrad is the most positions gained so far. I think the most positions lost is probably Finn. I think it is with 4. Men's is joint with him, but he has just made the position back up to P12, overtaking 7 for that position. And he's coming up to the back of now SLR Jam. This front train will be something that a lot of people will be making sure they don't make too many mistakes, but trying to make sure they stay in with the train. It looks like Snipes has managed to gain the gap. He's probably eaten a bit of battery. Yeah, he has eaten a little bit of battery to make sure he keeps in this train, but it is pivotal in this race that for him specifically, that he can catch up back to that race, and he's still in with a chance of a win. You can see his Zydrad has fallen back a fair whack from Roller, and the top 9 seem to have a nice good gap here, but that could all change as soon as we head into turn 1 here, as Jam has got a load of battery, and I'm sure he'll be thinking about maybe deploying some as he goes to overtake, potentially get himself into the top 10. Well, we do have a bit of a scrap here actually, as it's Elite and Evo. It is Elite up the inside of Evo, and he takes the position very comfortably so as well. It's not too much argy-bargy as it was earlier, but it seems very solid, and they will keep this position. But talking about keeping position, Finn has got past Zydrad now. Jam got past him, and now Finn did. Elite has gone around. Elite is round out of the turn 4, and he's dropped a load of positions back. He's managed to filter in quite nicely, thankfully, to him. So he's only lost 5 positions or so. But yeah, he's gone around there, and it's not what he wanted. He's just made himself up into P7, and straight away he's managed to drop it. It may have been collision, I'm not sure, as Corey has made the move on Crispy. That is into turn 10, I think. So maybe it was a collision, well, not a collision, but maybe somewhat half spin there for Crispy. Maybe a lock-up gone a bit sideways, gone straight on, or maybe riding the curb and going straight on. It happens here. It's not a very nice turn, that turn 10. NRX Finn is almost back where he started, which, considering he's had that spin early on, is pretty good for him. He had the collision. I'm not sure who it was with. I think it might have been Roller. Which, if so, it's going to be quite poetic when he comes to it, because he is going to be loving life if he can get past him, which I'm sure he'll be hoping to do, but he has to fend off from SLR Jam first. He's got plenty of battery, and he has DRS as well, as we do have an overtaking back. Sem is going past Zydrad, it looks like. They are still side by side though, so still lots to go. I think Sem has a bit of a slapper, as out of nowhere comes Elite Risks. He's come around the outside, and he's going to make it the inside here, and he's overtaken Sem. Sem's going to try and squeeze to make it 3 wide. It's not going to quite be 3 wide, but he's going to stay up the inside. He's forced Sem almost a little bit wide, but he's actually had such a good exit. He's now alongside with Zydrad. He looks like he's going to take the move. He is taking the move. He is up to P11 now, and he's on a mission. He's clearly been a bit angered by that spin, and straight away he's on it, proper on it, and he's going for it all over again. That was a fantastic move, it must be said. As we head into we're only 5 laps into this race, and I feel like so much has happened already. I'm already too excited. I don't know what to say left. There's a bit of a gap here, as I was saying, from Finn to Roller. As I say, he'll be shooting to try and catch back up. There has been a half spin. Zydrad, he looks like he's gone a bit wide, maybe lost a bit of time. He's lost a fair few positions in doing so. I think he was in P13. He's gone to P16 now, so that is not ideal for him, but he's managed to filter back in, quite frankly. Sem's gone. He's actually crashed. He's crashed out, and we have a safety car. That is not good. I wonder if we can see whereabouts that car is. That looks like maybe a loss on traction at the final corner. That's my assumption, but that is not ideal for him nor the Haas team, as Menz has managed to sort of capitalise that maybe and pull straight into the pits. Zydrad clearly had a bit of wind damage, so I think that was the problem that he had, where he fell back a bit, maybe from that damage. As it looks like as well, Menz is coming in, not for damage, but he is putting on a fresh set of boots. Right, the tyres, as you can see, Zydrad's gone onto the mediums, Menz is on the hards, and that is how we go. As because it's so early on in the lap, there's going to be so many people here, and Ham's almost going to just lead the lap to potentially pits. I don't think there's going to be too many stoppers here. I mean, if people have got 2 sets of mediums, they could potentially try a 2-stop. Specifically, those at the back, they could maybe go from medium to medium. I mean, that's what I did myself. And if it wasn't for the bit of dodginess under the safety car, it probably would have been alright. As Baggy fan has said, disaster for Haas, or disaster. I'm saying now that was Marcus that did that, not me. So blame him for the awful jokes. Right. So this is the question now: is anyone going to come into the pits? Someone is. Yeah, it looks like Mizzy is. No, Mizzy's not. I thought he was then. There are a few people in the pits though, starting with BRT Griffiths. Snipes has followed him. Evo has stayed out. Roller is in. Finn is in also. Rigsy is not Snipes. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, there's a few people in here, and I reckon it's going to be for mediums for the most part. It looks like it is mediums for the most part here. But yeah, there's a lot of changes here. But it's split the strategies here, which is fantastic considering everyone and their nan was on the hards to start off with. It's making this race interesting because now we're going to have differences in strategies, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to go now. The order's probably shuffled about a little bit, um, not too much by the looks of that. I mean, Merckx is now behind. Merckx and Simba are both behind Zydred now, of course, with his he pit last lap, so he should be all right as it is now. So Men's is staying out. I wasn't sure whether he was going to go for another set of mediums, but we have had a few laps on this, so it's probably not going to be quite as good as a potential stop like that. But so this is where it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. So Snipes is going to be leading those that are on the medium compound tyre. As you see, he's going to catch up to the grid now, and hopefully there's not any nonsense like there was last night, because that was very questionable between a lot of them. And yeah, hopefully there wasn't. Hopefully we don't have something similar to that than what was on Friday night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch. I watched bits of last night's race, but I was a very busy man yesterday, so I didn't really get a chance to go for it. As it looks like the medium runners have started catching up. I don't think it'll be too long before we're in. It depends if people are going to pick this up. It's a bit of a risk for anyone in that top 8 to pit, because they're just going to fall right down to the bottom. Honestly, if I were them, I'm staying out, and it looks like for the most part, I think everyone is staying out. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. For now, you've committed to that strategy now, you're going to have to just, you made your bed, now you've got to lie in it sort of situation. And yeah, it looks like that it's going to be that for the current order. So Ham, Midzi, Corey, Crispy, Evo, Jam, Rigsy, and Evoke are the only drivers left on the tyres that they started with. Everyone else has now boxed. Men's has gone on to both sets of tyres, I'm pretty sure, despite I think he started on the mediums potentially. I can look in the race director. Why not? We'll have a look in the race director to see what that says. Yeah, men started on the mediums, and then goes to hard. That explains why Dread was so quick off the start. I missed the fact that he was on soft. He's now on medium, so that's not too bad for him. Everyone from 9th down has already gone past their 2 different sets of tyres threshold. If you're not unaware, you have to use at least 2 different types of tyres, two different compound tyres during the race. Otherwise, the game will disqualify you. Even though it's not a set SLR rule, so to speak, it is a set rule in the game, so it doesn't have to be a set SLR rule. So, yes, all of those drivers don't necessarily have to pit again, but it's very likely they will have to, because I very highly doubt the mediums will go that distance. And if someone does, and I should say, if someone does make it to the end and benefit from it, they're a god. Quite frankly, they're going to be a god. They're going to be seen as a god. But here we go. It looks like the safety car is coming in. As you can see, the safety car rattles down the second to last straight. As we have Ham will be leading the way. He's just chilling down the straight about 85 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour. And he'll go when he fancies it. Maybe out of this corner, not quite. He hasn't gone for it yet. Hopefully there's not too much carnage at the back. Looks like it's all right. I think we're all good, unlike what it was. And when is he going to go? He has gone. He's put his foot down. He's put the overtake on as well. And look at that straight away. We've got a huge train here as everyone's just moved over to the side of the road. Corey looks like he's going to go for it on Mitzi here. He hasn't. I thought he was. I think it was actually more with Crispy behind him trying to get at him. Evo has had a very good restart, I think, as well. I know he hasn't. He was in a P5. Oh, there has been an off, and it's Crispy and Evo tagged coming out of turn 3, and they are both have gone around there. That is not good at all. As Corey almost gives Mitzi a little bit of tap, but he doesn't. Roller has made the move on Snipe, so he's now back up into what is a technical net race lead, even though it probably isn't. Sparks has gone off as well at the start of sector 2, which is not ideal. Oh, Jam's gone right up the inside of Corey there. He's not quite done it as Roller and Snipes, I think, are going side by side as well. They were, they aren't, they are. They're still side by side. Oh my word, this is carnage. And it looks like they're still going to stay side by side. There's been another spinner. Men's. No, there wasn't another spin. I think it was the same spin as before, Sparks. I think Medals had a spin as well on the restart, which is not ideal for either of those drivers. As it's all nose to tail once again, as we've got very close here, and it's actually Elite and Evoke side by side coming out to the penultimate corner. And Finn is going to split both of them here. He's gone up the inside. He's taken a position off of Evoke, and now he's going to go around the outside of Elite. They're tagged. I think Elite's managed to keep hold of it somehow. He's managed to keep hold of the car. He has, but he's side by side now with Griffiths, who's made the move on his teammate Evoke, his reserve teammate. And look at this carnage here, because here comes back Elite down the inside. He's gone up the inside with 3 wide between the two Red Bulls, and through goes Simba. Simba's gone up the inside of Evoke, and that is him up the position. He's made the position stick. They're still side by side here, though, between Zydrad. He's now tried to making a move, and I think he will make the move. So much so, he's gone up the inside of Simba. Oh, Evoke's gone round. I've just watched that just at the end there. He's gone round. That is Evoke back down to the bottom of the grid after what was going to be an interesting restart, I think, for a lot of people. We are side by side still, once again, as Finn has tried to make the move on Rixie. He has made the move on Rixie in between turns 8 and 10. Oh, Rixie's been bumped up the rear there a little bit by Elite even, and because of that, Rixie's gone straight on, and Elite has made that position. Rixie's come back in P10, but he is side by side with Simba. He's made the move. Stick has Simba, and that is him up position. So the medium drivers are making their way through. They're making their way through the grid as we head on to what is almost going to be starting lap 11 very shortly. Look how close we are. This top 5 in particular, the top 6 even. Roller and Snipes are going to be loving this, but Finn is not too far away, so I don't think it's going to be one necessary for all of them to worry about. They're probably thinking about how it's going to work. Zydrad, I believe, is going to be inside of Rixie. He is up the inside of Rixie. He's made the move stick as well. As Roller and Jan side by side, let's get a bit of action on this. As Roller goes up the inside, he takes the position. He's happy as Dave. He's happy as Larry even. Why did I say Dave? I ain't got a clue. But oh my gosh, there's more carnage going on. As I think Jam's coming back at Roller. He is coming back at Roller. Roller squeezes him out. He's not going to make the move. And Snipe says, "Thank you very much. I'm having that." And he does have that. And in doing so, he's up to P5 now. And Roller, in that blue Mercedes, is not far away from Corey and Mitzi and Ham, who has got a second lead of the race. He's not now. He was outside of a second. I don't know whether Mitzi will have the DRS, so he's all right there, thankfully. As the Aston Martins are having a tussle, they have had their tussle. Elite is past Jam, and now Griffiths fancies a go on Jam as well. We're going to watch on board with Simba, because who knows, this could get rather interesting there. Oh, Griffiths has just touched that sausage curve a little bit, and he's headed out wide. Thankfully, didn't hit Jam, but Simba's looking at him. He's definitely looking at him. He's right up his backside so much, so he's almost pushing him through the third to last corner even. But look how close this is here, and now Zydrad is going to be trying to think, oh, I fancy a point here. I'm going to try and have a go. Look at how close everyone is. Oh, that's not. Simba's gone off. Simba has gone off there. I think he got a little bit too close and maybe locked up. And because of that, Zydrad has made the position. And now Merckx is thinking, yeah, I'm going to have that on you, sir. And he has done that. And as I say, that Snipes has just overtaken Roller. You can see him going side by side in front of the picture there. And Snipes has overtaken Roller. He has taken him. There's a lot of battery already being used there by the Roller, as Zydrad is now past Jam. Still side by side, and yeah, Zydrad has made that move. Zydrad, after getting into P10 moments ago, is what I was supposed to say. He's now up into P9 very quickly afterwards. Oh, side by side again, that's Roller and Finn. Finn's now having a fancy himself to try and get past Roller after he's been slightly hampered potentially by getting overtaken there. As again, oh, that's a lot of carnage. That's a lot of carnage. a lot of nonsense going on there as Finn was overtaken momentarily by Elite, but Elite lets him back through. I think it might be Elite that maybe caused all of that carnage there. And look how close he gets again. He gets right close to NRX Finn as Sim has overtaken Jam into down that sort of back straight, so to speak. I don't really know what you'd call that. It's a straight opposite the start straight. It's not the start straight though. How close do you want to be, SLR? It's not even SLR. It's Snipes SP. He is right on the rear end of SLR Corey now. He's thinking to himself, I mean, this is clearly the quickest strategy, I think, here. It was a bit of a risk as all. Corey's actually having a go on Mitzi. He has had a go on Mitzi. Mitzi's flashing his battery, and Corey is going to go up the inside. He's gone up the inside. Mitzi's going to keep it around. Oh, they've tagged. They've tagged. Mitzi's kept it in on Corey. Corey's turned in a little bit too early. He's gone round and Mckeon's doing that. Oh, Roller! Roller's now got up the inside. He's gone so much to the inside. He's gone up the inside and he's gone very deep. And in doing so, Elite is now up into P3 in all of this absolute nonsense that's going on in here in Sector 1. And it looks like it is it. It's not quite it because Griffiths is now fighting Roller as well. That was interesting movements to see for sure. As up around the outside, I think Finn's trying on Roller as well. So Finn is desperate to make some moves here on Roller, who's well, he almost made a very good move and he didn't. Elite is actually now up to P2. I'm wondering if maybe Mitzi's picked up a little bit of damage with that collision he had with Corey, as Corey has been sent down the grid to P17 because of that. Down the inside goes Snipes. Snipes and Mitzi are going side by side here because it's just non-stop racing, and I absolutely love it. And someone else who's absolutely loving it is SLR Ham, because he has got a 2-second gap here, and he's going to be hoping with a bit of help, he's going to stay as try and expand that gap. Although I think it might be a bit of a struggle now. But here comes the next lot of potential overtakes here, as we've got 3 people in very quick succession, 4 people even. As Snipes pulls out to overtake Elite. Snipes has made the move on Elite, but Mitzi's thinking himself, oh, Mitzi's gone round. Mitzi has either locked up the brakes or had a collision again at turn 1, and he's a bit rear end has stepped out and he's gone down to P7. That, once again, is not an ideal situation for Mitzi. Second lap in a row, he's had some sort of incident in the first sector, and that has not helped him out at all. As Mitzi and Finn, the McLaren teammates, are having a little ding dong here. I don't know what quite they're thinking, but it's not looking too good because here comes Simba potentially round the outside of Finn. Oh, they've had a bit of a ding dong as well. Simba's had to go off the road. He's had to use the gravel trap as well. Oh my gosh, everything's happening again. It's just everyone's just barging each other off the road. This is carnage. Griffiths has got up to P3 in the meantime, but look at the state of this. Everyone is side by side. It's 2 by 2, as now it's Finn and Merckx. Merckx is up into P8. What a fantastic sort of second stint, I suppose, from Merckx. He's found himself right up the order with that separate pit stop. And that Finn right on the back of him, and Evo is also right there as well. He's actually now the 3rd place driver out of those that are on the hards, which is, I mean, to be fair, he was 5th, I think, initially, so he's not lost too much and not gained too much. But he, yeah, I'm sure he's still pretty happy with how he's going. Oh, that looks a little bit interesting from Han there, as Finn has pulled into the pits. He's not the only one either. I think it was Riggsy has gone in as well. And I think we might actually have a little bit of peace and quiet for once. Or maybe not, because Elite is right up the backside of BRT Griffiths' Red Bull. Of course, he was the only one in this division to have a joint constructors pick with BRT Griffiths. And he's currently, currently that Red Bull car that he picks is the only thing that Elite Risks is seeing. Because he is right there. Look at the back end of that. And down the inside, no, I was hoping for a little bit of. I'm liking the amount of carnage so far. The levels of carnage is pretty solid. As we are now reaching the halfway point, so I reckon it's not too far until. Oh, look at that! Elite Risks drifting through turn 10 there, and maybe he's going to get a good old run. And I think he's going to get a good run here. Maybe not enough, but he's still right on Griffiths, and I'm sure he's thinking he fancies himself here for a P3 here. I'd expect everyone, to still have a pit stop. Maybe not those guys that have pitted already. So Rigsy, Corey, Finn, Evoke, they probably won't have to pit again. Roller has really had a problem. I'm not sure what said problem was, but he's gone right down. I might have missed something with him, but that was a bit of carnage. Here comes Elite. He's definitely going to go for it now. He has to go for it now. He's got the DRS advantage. He's used a little bit of ERS. That's him up to P3. I don't think it'll be fought too much here by Griffiths, and it won't be that's him up there. But Griffiths, as you know, he'll have the DRS here, so maybe if he can stick close enough, he'll get it. But he has a little bit of a tanker, not a massive one, but the rear has set out. And as he goes now, it looks like he's all right, and I think he's going to stay as he is. Evo has now headed himself into the pits. I think we're not far away from everyone getting on their fresh set of boots, and it's going to be mediums to the end, I'd expect, for most people here, unless they fancy going really long and putting on a set of medium softs even. There we go, I was going to say soft. I've said softs now, eventually. Right, who we got left? What's happening now? Let's find ourselves a nice little battle. Although it's battles everywhere, isn't it? Which is quite nice, really. I'm liking the amount of battles. I'm liking the amount of carnage. It's nice battles. It's actually not so nice battles because there is a lot of carnage going on. Roller has now pitted. Roller has actually called it a day. I mean, he was so far behind. I'm not actually sure what happened to him, but it wasn't good. Whatever it was, he's clearly not had a very good afternoon. Specifically in that second stint, there was a lot of carnage going on. He almost was in P2, and then he wasn't, and then he was around, I think. So not ideal second stint there for Roller, unfortunately, and he's now calling it a day. As he got yellow flags, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem as Mitzi has pulled himself into the pits, making the McLaren crew a little bit busy for the next minute or so. He's the only one in the pits as well. As I say, they've got 13 laps left this race. Not too long. We've gone past the halfway point already. Time flies when there is absolutely incredible racing going on. And speaking of incredible racing, Snipes, who, by the way, has had an insane second stint, he is caught up. He's caught up very quickly to SLR Ham, and he has left Elite and Griffiths in doing so. He's got a 3-second gap. And now he's thinking, this is a battle, a 100% a battle for the lead here. I don't know where roughly they're going to come out. I mean, Midsy's come out in P14, so I could see if either of these guys pit, they'll probably come out in that gap between Medal and Sparks, which is currently, although that feels like it's far too early. So maybe it's not. I'm not quite sure, but I would expect it to be around there. But maybe not quite. We'll have to see what happens here. As you can see, Midsy is a little bit. He's fallen back a little bit, not a load. You can see Evo is not far behind, and neither is Corey. So after that incident not too long ago, it looks like it's all cushy for them. But here comes Ham and Snipes. Potentially, Ham's pulled into the pit, so Snipes is going to take the BRS down with him into lap 18. As Ham pits, and we'll be interested to see where he comes out. Hopefully, for his sake, he's going to be in a nice little gap in P11, in that 11-second gap. I'd expect maybe around there, if not probably closer to Sparks. There's a few people coming in as well. Simba and Mercs have both come in as well. As we still have got a bit of carnage. It's going to be, I think it's going to be quite tight between them. I think Ham is going to get that. He is definitely going to get that, actually. Yeah, he is in P11. He's actually going to be P9 actually now because of the people that pitted also in Simba and Mercs. The Evo's got past Mercs, and I think it's very close with Simba as well. But we're following currently the battle for P2 between BRT Griffiths and Elite Risks, because Griffiths is not far behind Elite at all. Elite has been had a very interesting and eventful race so far. I think it's fair to say. I say that. I think everyone has had a very interesting and eventful race so far. Maybe everyone other than probably Ham, who I think the most interesting thing he's had to do so far was leave a safety car restart and then pit just now. So he's actually had quite a nice time of it, and they'll be hoping he won't have to put up with too much traffic in the coming laps. He's got an 8-second gap currently to catch up to Medal, with a 2-second gap to Rigsy behind, who, by the way, he is in a very, very good position. He's probably on for like a net podium at the minute, depending on how he gets on here. He could have a very solid one. Mitzi is definitely still in with a good chance of podium, at least, despite having a couple of incidents. As Snipes has pitted from the lead, which means this battle here is now for the technical lead of the race. I want to see more carnage. In fact, let's see. I'm pretty sure that'll be quite comfortable for Ham taking himself into lead. So he is the net race leader. And it's not overly confident, although I thought it was going to be a little bit more confident than it is. But Snipes has, yeah, he's taken P8, so Snipes is comfortably in net P2, and he is not far behind Ham at all. With one lap fresh at tyres, he might be licking his lips for thinking for this win here. But Rigsy is in a very good spot as a potential podium candidate, which I think he'll be very much looking forward to being the case. Who we got else? That battle for P2 is P1 and P2 is still so tight, and it's actually the tightest battle on the grid currently. Although it looks very tight between these three here, but I don't know if there'll be moves going on. Somebody might make moves, maybe Corey or Finn at some point. I mean, Finn has been making a lot of moves today, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he is considering himself again. How long have we got then? So, Griffiths has pulled into the pits. Zydrad and Jam, sorry, I should say Zydrad stays out. Jam looks like he will, and so will Crispy. Will Crispy be going for a move here? I think he might be a little bit too far back. He won't be overly far back. I think he should maybe just catch himself up a little bit. Griffiths has just put on a soft, which for 9 laps, it's doable, but it could be a real stretch, and his tyres could be absolutely shot come the end of the race. So he's going to have to do 10 laps on those softs, which a lot of people will probably be doing, putting on mediums for that. Unless something really strange is going on, then perhaps not. Oh, sorry, I'm really struggling. Right, Corey and Sparks have both put on pair of softs. I think Corey has had a bit of a moment because initially he was up in P13 and he's not anymore. So I think he might have had a little bit of a moment, maybe picked up a bit of damage or something, and he's thinking to himself, you know what, I just fancy shot at fastest lap now, which is not ideal. As Crispy is still sort of the closest battle on the track, although this battle for the final point position has just become very interesting, as Simba is trying it around the outside. It's not going to be the outside, he's not quite going to get it, but he's going to get a good little run here if he can keep it going, but because of that, Merckx is also having a good run. You can see on board, they're still side by side, Simba and Evo. Simba will take the position. They're both on very low ERS. And Merckx will be thinking, all right, okay, I sort of fancy myself in this battle now. As the current leader, Elite Risks, has pitted. There is quite some gap now between Snipes and Rigsy, but Ham and Snipes, there is not much of a gap because Ham is catching up to Menz, who have been on those tyres for a very long time, as have Crispy and Jam, who've been on their tyres since the start of the race. And it looks like a lot of people are going to try and stick on those softs till the end of the race. I do still feel like they're going to be a little bit shot towards the end of it, but maybe not. Simba still battling with Evo. He has finally made it almost confirmed, although I don't think he's going to have DRS here even, but with a little bit of Evo's thinking himself, they've both got nothing left in the tank. Because, oh my gosh, Max has gone so close, he's gone deep. Finn's going to be looking here thinking, oh, this could be very tasty here. I might have to get myself involved at some point in this little battle. Hammer's made the move on Menz, and I don't think Snipes is going to be so far behind either. He's actually sent it right up the inside at turn 10, and he said, yeah, I'm fancying myself with that as well. I think he'll make that pretty simple, although I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to fight it. He's got that slipstream. Oh, I think, was there a little bit of a take there, or was that just a lag spike? I'm going to assume it's a lag spike. Oh, there has been another lag spike, and Snipes is now above Menz suddenly. That might be just a little bit of a connection problem, but it's not too bad. As Mitzi has also got past Rigsy now, so Mitzi is now in a net race podium position, as Elite is not far behind on those softs. He's going to be chasing them down with everything he's got, and I would expect a potential fastest lap point for him here. these guys are still battling here as well, as both Jam and Crispy are coming into the pits, which means the only two people probably left to pit are going to be Zydrad and Men's when the time comes. Men's have just made the move back on Snipes um, into turn one, which is very interesting, as Snipes just straight away on the traction says, yeah, no, what are you doing that for? I really fancied that position, so actually I'm going to take that back. And so he's taking it back, and he is back up to P3. Expect now, Snipes will probably try his best to push away a little bit, but Men's has got a good bit of DRS, as SLR Corey is now set the fastest lap of the race of a 1 minute 29.9. That's quick, and that's like level of, oh my gosh, here comes some bits. Oh, that was a bit interesting. I think, yeah, my connection's clearly not liking it at the minute, which isn't ideal. But Finn has got past Simba and Mercs. Griffiths is also getting involved now because he's on the softs, so he's going to be licking his lips here. As side by side, it wasn't quite side by side; it was almost side by side. As Elite is now past Riggsy as well down the straight that we have just headed into for this battle for P8. Not too long left to go of this at all. There is probably about 8 laps. I think if you include this one, although it looked like Sidred's about to take that unless he pits. He's not pitting. He's not pitting, so he's actually just started at 23. So we now have 7 laps left of the race to race. BRT Griffiths now up the inside of Simba on the braking. Look at that, you can just take that because of how much better tyre advantage he's got on those softs. He's like, yeah, I'm having that. And he's now going to think, well, okay, who's next? It's NRX Finn. I fancy some of that as well. I fancy a bit of P9. And I mean, for the guys on softs, they're going to be wanting to go as, oh my gosh, that is so deep. That's almost ABS abusing when you don't even have ABS enabled. And he's just sent up the inside. He's like, yeah, thank you, I'm having that. Yeah, this is the thing with the soft runners. You've got to make sure you make your moves early, and that is what these guys are 100% doing. The race has cleaned itself up, thankfully. We had a little bit of a battle just before the pit stops, but since the pit stops, it's been pretty chill. It's because the pit stop window has lasted sort of 8 laps or so. But we still have 2 people left to pit, so we're still waiting, really. As look at that, Griffiths is already right on the back of Evo. He's probably thinking, turn 10, could I? No, he's not going for it, but he's thinking, right, okay, exit here. Let's get a good exit. Let's get on the traction nicely. He will get on the traction nicely, and he's thinking, yeah, okay, this position, it's mine now, and he's got it. He's got P8. Griffiths is on an absolute flyer at the minute, as Crispy has just got past SLR Medal into P13, as Elite has just got past Jamie Menz into P5. That is at the second to last corner. And now he's right on the back of Midzi, and he's thinking of his potential podium here. And surely, at some point, Zydrad has got to come into the pits. Unless he's actually going to try it, which he can go to the end. But he's got another 5 laps left to do, 6 laps to do even. His tyres are going to be struggling big time. But maybe he thinks this is the best chance he's got of getting some serious points. And it could be serious points, because the gaps have spread out a bit, to be fair. There's a 5-second gap here for Elite, who has just got past Midzi, by the way, to catch back up to Snipes, which is potentially happening. But I don't think we're far away. I mean, I don't know myself, but just from my personal experience with the soft tyres, they're not all that amazing. Sparks has retired, he's in the pits. So that is him done for the day. We've had 3 out, 1 crash, 2 in the pits. 7 being the crash, 2 pits being Sparks and Roller. As yeah, currently everyone is in a battle somewhat, other than maybe Griffiths is trying to pull away from Evo and trying to catch up to Riggs. Well, the gaps have spread themselves out, to be fair. It's more towards that rear end of the field where that's the case. So we're going to watch it. The battle for P9 is what I'm on about here, because Evo's the head of this train, and it is a very big train. That's what it is. From Finn, from Simba, from Mercs, and then Crispy and Jam and Medal are getting involved in this as well because of all the carnage going on. This is for P9, with potential of maybe higher depending on how things go throughout the field. Of course, Men's and Zydrad are technically left to pit, but as we were saying, there's a good chance they could actually just say, you know what, I'm just going to take it to the end on these tyres, and they might just do that. So we'll have to see how they get on. But I'd expect those tyres are not going to be very nice. As I say, that Zydrad has picked up a 3-second time penalty, which would be not what he was hoping to have seen come up on his display. Finn has just got past Evo. He has got past Evo. He's got the inside at turn 1. And with the DRS advantage, he might be thinking, I fancy myself here. As the AlphaTauris have just swapped over, Evo isn't going to go for it. He's not quite close enough there. And I'm really struggling now for my breath, which is not great. And Ham is right there. He's actually so right there. He's thinking about maybe moving to turn 10. He's trying to force Sidra that way, but actually Sidra has somewhat nailed that corner. But with traction and with DRS and with ERS enabled, Ham is taking that position very nicely indeed. And Sidra is probably thinking as well, my teammates going out now, which could be interesting, depending on what they've had previous agreements with. That might be another change very shortly, as there's a few penalties that have come up here. I think Evoke's just had one, and now Elite has got one in P4 as he attempts to chase down that pack, as Ham has gone miles off the track there at the second to last corner. Mercs and Jam are now having a scrap, as this is the battle for lead. All three drivers currently split between basically 6/10 between the three of them. As the Alfa Romeos are now looking at helping each other out here, maybe, but they are almost driving in formation because they've got exactly the same advantage on one another. As Snipes goes up the inside and he takes the position, he's up into P2, and now he's thinking, right, okay, he's done. Now it's time to look at Ham, maybe. Ham is very low on the ERS. He's seeing that red light flashing. He's knowing he's got that little bit more than him, so maybe he can try and really push here and see what he can do. There was another position change there. Both Griffiths had already, but now Crispy has got past. There's Evo has had a very nice run there on Finn. He's tried to keep it, not quite, but Evo's coasted out wide because of that. Oh, there's a bit of ding dong there. Simba is now past him as well because of that. That's the problem, because it's sequel machinery, because it's so tight the grid. You make one mistake trying to battle somebody else, you get pushed off wide, and oh, Simba and Evo have come together. Oh my gosh, that is not ideal. And now Evo's basically pushing him through turn 10. Oh gosh, I don't even know what that's for. That's through turn 8, having a bit of a ding dong, and that is not ideal at all. Oh, see, I'm so knackered now by that. I'm even yawning. And I don't know why I'm yawning, because this is such an incredible race. I think it's probably the race earlier that just causing me to be so tired. That was horrible to watch. But here comes Snipes. He's going to sit behind. He's just going to sit behind and wait. Jam's pulled over to the right-hand side of the road. As you can see, probably trying to bait him into, or making sure he keeps the inside line in case he goes for a move. Look at that. Snipes, because of that, he's not got the rubber difference as Riggsy has just left the session. Let's try and get him back in if we can. Once I remember how to do it. I don't know whether he's got in yet, but I've just sent him an invite anyway, so hopefully that'll help him out. But still looks as it was, still hopefully, as we head on to the final 3 laps of the race. Currently it's Tam from Snipers from Zydrad from Elite from Mid-Seat. And I think Elite is smelling the blood of an Alfa Romeo here, because he is gaining incredibly quickly on Zydrad. I'm not surprised by that, because Zydrad tyres are now 21 laps old. Riggs has just taken control of his car, and he has got BRT Griffiths right up his backside, but it should be alright, hopefully. You know what, he was so close there, I went so far behind him. Oh my gosh, that was not nice. I had a nice little problem with that, but it should be alright now. And look at that, he's so close to it, he's really fancying himself here, and I think he's going to try and move into P6 here, is the Red Bull BRT Griffiths. But those tyres, they might fall off in the next couple of laps. We're on to the penultimate lap of the race now, though. Drop that. As you can see the red light flashing. He's going to be all over that rear end, just like Corey in the room below Arc. As we go up the inside, he's up the inside. He's taken it into turn 1, and he has taken that very nicely. And Bob's your uncle. Yeah, he's happy. He's sorted. He's happy as Larry, and that is him up to P6 on those soft tyres. We'll see how long left they have left, as Elite is now part of Zydrad. He's made up a remarkable amount of time in the last couple of laps, but Zydrad is still looking good. He's up for a P5, at least here, I'd say. depending on how quickly Griffiths can catch up. Which, with how old his tyres are, I don't know how much that's going to be. Someone else who's probably licking their lips a little bit is being Mitzi as well, because even though he's right behind Sidedrag, which he is, he's coming up to it, so he's catching him quickly. Because of that, he's actually going to become within Elite Risk's penalty window, which makes him a very likely potential candidate for, who knows what's going to happen here. Here we go. Last couple of corners for the penultimate lap of the race as we head on to the final lap. And look at this for a battle. The front two are giving it their all. Snipes is right on the rear end of Ham there. I've missed that, and we're going to ride on board. I'm sure he's going to give it his absolute all here to try and get past it. He pulls to the outside. He's going to take it. Is he going to take it? Ham keeps up the inside. They almost collide. I think they're all right. I think Ham sort of forced him a little bit out. I think he should be all right here. And I think Ham's actually got the DRS. He has got the DRS. And I think Ham has pulled that off to a T there. But there is still one more potential overtaking opportunity that could really compromise him in it. We'll have to see though. Snipes is right on it as Griffiths has now got past Rigsy here. I think that'll be him done and dusted. I think he'll only get maximum P6. He's already been passed though, so he must have been passed back by Rigsy. But this is probably the last chance for Snipes to get this win. He hasn't had the best of exits, and I'd say Hams is probably a bit better. Ham's been eating away at his battery. He's got barely anything left. Snipes has got a little bit more, but it's just not going to be quite enough, as he's had a little bit of a rear lock there. You can see as he drifted through that corner there. Final sector to go. One sector left as we're still so tight for the lead here. Ham has not had a lot to do, but he has at the end, and it looks like he's going to do enough. But is he going to do enough? Snipes is here still. He's still very, very close to it, and there's still a good chance of something here for him if he can ace it. And I don't think he will, as Jam has gone round in the final sector as Ham. Oh my gosh, he's winning across the track because he's going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. He's going to win the first round of Summit League racing in season 11. Elite comes through in P3, but that will only be as good as P4, as Mitzi takes it by 0.02 seconds. Zydrad finishes P5, Griffiths in P6, Rigsy in P7, Mitzi in P8. JD Menz gets points on his Mckeon debut in P9, and NRX Finn also making his debut today. He rounds off the points in P10. This is all pretty good, so potentially it might change before you see it when it comes up on the website, hopefully midway through next week. Evo, Medal, Simba, Jam, Evoke, and then it's Corey and Merckx just waiting for them to finish up. Corey has finished, now it is just Merckx to go, and that is it. I've already forgotten the top three. There we go. SLRF celebrates with the trophy. Look at that gap, 0.2 seconds. That is oh so close there between the two of them. As Snipes had a very good drive, as you can see there. A very good drive from Zydrad as well, and Menz the same. They only went with the one stop in the end. They tried to take their tyres to the absolute maximum, and they did very well in doing so, it must be said. I've sent the invoice through to the party, and as you can see there is the top 10. And just for the admin's purposes, I'll quickly grab the bottom half as well. As you can see, the only non-finishers were Sparks, Roller, and Sem. Of course, Sem caused in a crash, which caused a safety car, which really did spice up this race and the few strategies, which I think made it very interesting indeed. Not too long, I think we've got everyone in the party. I'm not sure whether Snipes has got a mic from what I can remember anyway, so I might just go without him if I haven't heard anything. I've sent the invites anyway. Yeah, that is it for round one, finally. So, I mean, you boys know the drill, they're in here already. Ticking the box